After 4 weeks of unidentified drones flying over the East Coast, New York Governor Kathy Hochul today said the federal government is sending a new state-of-the-art drone detection system to her state, but she says Congress and the White House can do more. CNN's Julia Benbrook is in Washington with the latest on the federal government's response to these mysterious sightings.
Following the uptick in reported drone sightings in the Northeast, there are still a lot of unanswered questions. But Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is looking to assure the public that there is no known public safety threat and that his team is closely monitoring any developments. He also says the agency is in close coordination with state and local authorities. During his most recent comments about the drone sightings during an interview with ABC that aired earlier today, he said that the federal government has deployed additional personnel, resources, and technology to help New Jersey State Police address the drone sightings. Now, while Mayorkas has said that there's no question people are seeing drones, he has also said that the technology has confirmed that at least some of those drone sightings are actually small manned aircraft. He is calling on Congress to act to help them address future situations, asking them to extend and expand the government's authorities when it comes to drones.
We are working in close coordination with state and local authorities, and it is critical, as we all have said for a number of years, that we need from Congress additional authorities to address the drone situation. We want state and local authorities to also have the ability to counter drone activity under federal supervision. That is one important element that we have requested, and we've heard it echoed by the state and local officials themselves.
Mayorkas was asked about President-elect Donald Trump's social media posts suggesting that the government could shoot down the drones. In response to that, Mayorkas said that there are some agencies within the Department of Homeland Security and outside of the department that could do that, but that they need those authorities expanded as well. Now, throughout these investigations and during these drone sightings, Mayorkas has continued to say that his team is not aware of any direct national security concerns tied to the reported drone sightings, but he has pledged to provide an update if his team sees any cause for concern.
Boston police say they have arrested 2 people for flying aircraft dangerously close to Logan International Airport. And it comes as state and local officials become increasingly frustrated by the lack of transparency about where these drones are coming from or how dangerous they might be. There are reports of sightings in at least 6 states now. Reported incidents include drones flying near military facilities and one even causing a New York airport to temporarily suspend flights. CNN's Gloria Pazmino is tracking the latest from New York. Gloria, what do you have?
Well, Fred, the biggest development so far, other than these continued sightings, is certainly this arrest out of Boston. The Boston Police Department telling us they arrested 2 men after one of their officers recorded some activity not far from Boston Logan International Airport of a drone flying dangerously close, according to the police department. So that officer deployed some technology which helped him find the drone's flight information, their owners, and where they were operating from. That led him to Boston Harbor Island. This is an uninhabited small island near Boston. And once the officer arrived there, he found the 2 suspects who initially tried to flee on foot. They were eventually captured. One of them had a drone in his backpack, and a third is believed to have fled on a small vessel. Now, the question here is whether or not this arrest is going to lead to any additional information about some of the drone activity that's been reported over Massachusetts and many of these other states in the Northeast. But the question of technology being deployed by a police department is interesting because that is what we have heard from so many local officials asking the federal government to step in and provide more resources. To that point, here in New York, we heard from Governor Kathy Hochul earlier this morning. She said that following conversations with federal partners, New York is now getting some of those resources. Here's a statement from the governor. She said, in response to my calls for additional resources, our federal partners are deploying a state-of-the-art drone detection system to New York State. This system will support state and federal law enforcement in their investigation. Now, my sources here in New York tell me the governor and Department of Homeland Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas